It is fantastic to have multiple basketball games back on my multiple screens again. I hope everybody has been enjoying opening day on Tuesday and then the entire slate of NBA games yesterday. The game that I was locked into for the 4 o'clock slot, I had the Knicks Celtics on another screen, but my main screen I had the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets. That was the game I chose to be locked into because I am just fascinated by the Orlando Magic. I am very high on their core. I'm high on their duo of Franz, Wagner, and Paolo Banchero. I'm high on the players around them, especially guys like Wendell Carter Jr., who I think you can argue are the third cornerstones for that franchise. I think Wendell Carter Jr. is underrated, but I'm just a fan of all of it. The ancillary players surrounding that core, the coaching job Jamal Mosley has done over the past few years, and I'm ready to see the Orlando Magic take a step this year. I had them in the play-in squabble. I had them right around the 9th seed or the 8th seed. No, the 9th seed. I remember it's going to look like a dumbass take, but I did have the Bulls slightly ahead of them. Just solely because, it's preseason rankings. They hadn't even played a game yet. But, young teams, you just never know. As much as I wanted the Orlando Magic's progression to be linear, sometimes that shit doesn't happen. But I still expect the Magic to fully compete for a play-in spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got the 8th seed, the 7th seed even. And they kind of displayed why yesterday. I know it's only the first game of the preseason, but I made a video about the Magic last year, made a video about Franz Wagner in his rookie year. The Magic are just building a unique team, and I think when a lot of fans of other teams, when their team faces the Magic, they're going to realize immediately that there is a secret sauce behind the Orlando Magic's young core and why I like them so much. It's because they are fucking ginormous. They are large human beings at every single position. Every position the Magic have players that are big for that prototypical size of that position. Markelle Fultz is 6'4" with a long-ass wingspan. By the way, one of the best comeback stories in the NBA. Actually, it's the best comeback story the last 2-3 years in the NBA, and obviously I'm biased because I want to see Markelle Fultz succeed. Like a lot of Sixer fans want to see Markelle Fultz succeed because he was obviously going through something in Philly with the shoulder, and I'm sure there was some, a mental component to it. You got Jalen Suggs at 6'5", and this is a big year for Jalen Suggs because there's a few lottery picks behind Jalen Suggs that want to play, like Anthony Black, who didn't get any playing time in the main rotation yesterday. Then you got Franz Wagner, 6'10", 220. You got Paolo Banchero, 6'10", 250. Then you got Wendell Carter Jr., 6'10", 270. It looks more like 260, 265, but whatever. 5 pounds doesn't really make that big of a difference. The point is Wendell Carter is fucking huge. And it's not just, the height. It's the weight they carry around. And the Magic were just pushing the Rockets all over the court yesterday. They did a great job defending Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green. And the Magic just used their size on the other end. 54 points in the paint, 17 offensive rebounds. They just attacked the glass relentlessly. Their size and length obviously bothered the Rockets some, especially rookie Amen Thompson. He had some, turnovers where defenders were digging down as he was driving into the paint. And then you got the blocks, of course, and a few from Jonathan Isaac that were just eye-popping. I remember I also made a video about Jonathan Isaac when he made his return last year and kind of made an immediate defensive impact. And he did the same thing yesterday. Cole Anthony also came off the bench with 20 points and had a few really just crazy offensive rebounds, kept balls alive, and to give the Magic extra possessions. And Cole Anthony's the only Magic player on that roster that was in that main rotation. It was a 10-man rotation, it looked like. But Cole Anthony is the only player on the Magic that is under 6'4", and he is 6'2". The Magic are huge everywhere. Off the bench, aside from Cole Anthony, you got Mo Wagner, backup center, you got Gary Harris, 6'5", Joe Ingles, 6'9", Jonathan Isaac, 6'10", and the Magic were really in control of that game yesterday. The Rockets made a little bit of a run in the first half of that third quarter when they came out of halftime, but once the bench came in, they kind of changed the momentum of the game. Jonathan Isaac had 5 straight possessions going up and down where he just dominated possessions. He had a dunk, a putback dunk. He had a block on Jalen Green, a Jalen Green dunk attempt that was so nasty. After the block attempt he had on Jalen Green in the first half, which was also nasty. But this Magic team is just huge, and there are going to be shooting concerns, of course. The spacing that comes with not having enough good three-point shooters, that's just something they're going to have to figure out. But the other stuff, the margins, the offensive rebounding, the size, and actually Franz and Paolo's ability to maneuver in tight quarters and tight spaces despite being so fucking huge, and them being really good passers, that's going to help a lot. But the Magic are primed to take a very meaningful step this year. They're already on a trajectory now that they have, obviously, their big wing duo, and it was fitting that Hedo Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis were at the game yesterday being honored by the Magic fans. The Magic even had that throwback pump-up song that they had at the beginning of their era as a franchise, the Orlando Magic, and it was a remix of it. It was a pretty exciting season opener if you were a Magic fan, especially because the Houston Rockets, they're also one of the few teams in the NBA that, or not one of the few teams, but there are plenty of exciting young cores in the NBA, I feel, this season. The Rockets are kind of in that discussion, and the Magic just kind of dominated them. Defended Fred VanVleet well, defended Jalen Green well. They pushed around Jabari Smith and Alperen Şengün. Dylan Brooks was the only decent Rocket offensively. He was efficient, 4 of 6 from 3, 5 of 7 overall. But the main takeaway, and what is going to be the takeaway and what people are going to realize this season, is that one, Franz Wagner is going to be one of the sleeping giants in the East in terms of somebody who can propel themselves to maybe an all-star appearance this season. And two, most importantly, the secret sauce is the Magic have a lot of players who are skilled, but also fucking ginormous.